My first big fan was my mom. And it was really interesting. I remember leaving home and she's giving me a hug at the airport. And she leans in and she goes, "Now I can always turn back around and we can go right back home. You can change your mind and everything will be fine." I'm like, "No, I'm going, this is happening." And you know, walking to security and then looking back and just seeing her like, "Oh." And me just being like, "Oh." However, as soon as I turned back around, I knew I was on a mission, on a very specific quest, you know? It was bigger than just wanting to be a musician or do movies. It was about finally showing the world what Scott could do. Being in school was all about being cool and wearing fresh clothing and being popular. And when you go out into the real world, you realize that that moment is just a little of your life, high school. At that moment in your time in life, you feel like that's all that matters. High school, it's like, oh, this girl doesn't like me, this guy here, and it's all this drama, and you go into the real world and you know it's about just trying to make your mark in the world. I had this fire to pursue this musical career. I can't say I was one of those people that was into like having thrills and you know getting some type of stimulation from that. But it was nothing like saying like, yo, I'm gonna go out and pursue something and I know I'm gonna do it and nobody's gonna tell me I can't. And everybody that doesn't believe it, I'm gonna prove it to them sooner or later. And that's just what it is. Because at one point I didn't feel like I was smart enough to pass that test. Or I didn't feel like I was smart enough to go to this college. But with music, it was like, nobody's gonna take that from me. First thing I did when I went to New York, and most people think it was kind of like this amazing adventure. It wasn't. It was pretty much finding a job. And for the first couple years, I was working everywhere. You know, whether it was like at this clothing store here, or Abercrombie & Fitch, or American Apparel, or Dean & DeLuca. I always had a job. I was a hustler. I still apply that same work ethic with the music. You know what I mean? Like, I'm almost in a way where I don't know how to relax because my whole life has been just a grind. I really just told myself from jump, like, hey man, I'm gonna do this, and I applied the information that I needed to execute that, and in places, at times in my life where I didn't have the answers, I made sure to get the information or surround myself with people that had the information. You know what I mean? You can't hang out with people that ain't doing nothing. How you gonna get money hanging around people that ain't got no money? Really, you know, people, like I say, come up to me all the time and they're like, man, but you did it, man, you're special, you're different, and I'm not any different. From you, we're all the same. I came from this town. I went to this school. All my buddies, we all had the same opportunities, you know? There were a lot of haters, there were a lot of doubters, there were a lot of people that were telling me, man, you ain't gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. He'll be back. I remember telling my buddies, I'm moving to New York, all right, you'll be back. Nah, I'm not coming back. And if I do come back, it's for a concert, you know? And everybody be like, all right, whatever. When I came back, it was for a concert. Life will throw you a ton of curveballs, it's scary. But like, if you believe, man, you know? If you believe, and if you want it, and if you want to work hard enough for it, it can be so. Because there's no difference from me and you. I just really wanted this shit. I wanted it bad. You know, and I didn't want to be a failure. And nobody's a failure in this room. Don't ever think that. We can all win. And that's it.